we just wanted to come back on here to do another recap. Last week we got together and talked about week 1 and 2, and we're just wrapping up week 3 right now, where we're building positive habits. And some of the things that, or the running theme for this last week was letting go and creating new patterns. And just want to hear like how that's been for you, Damaris. I can feel a little bit about myself as well, but yeah,
I'm going to,
like
because I've been using our chats on Substack as a way to also journal
okay.
because I'm like, let me share my thoughts.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's good.
So
That's
I'm
what
going
it's
to,
here for, and want others to do the same.
exactly. So I'm going to, from the recent days, I'm going to pick out a reply to kind of, because I did, let's see, this one was about what's something new that I tried recently and how does stepping out of my comfort zone make me feel?
Mhm.
And one of the things was that I shared was doing a Substack live with
Yeah,
you.
doing a live period, whether it's on
Right.
Substack.
I mean, lives are lives to me,
Yeah.
but that was something where I, that is not something I'm comfortable with, which is very weird because I'm not comfortable with it because in my head, I think I hate the way I sound. And I also think, I'm like, oh my God, am I going to sound stupid? Are
Mhm.
people gonna be like, the hell she's talking about? Am I going to fumble? Am I going to stumble over my words? Because I do that a lot. I even do it on our podcast, but I edit out more than half.
Right.
So this idea of being live leaves me very vulnerable in a way that I'm not comfortable with at all. And I'm also like, "Oh my god, let me wash my face. Let me make sure it's moisturized," right? Like, all the things because I don't use filters because you know what I think about filters. Filters are just a way to catfish people.
You stay quality. Your
I
niece
call
again.
my nieces a straight up catfish. I'm like, "Why are you using filters? That's not your face." But
My daughter loves, uh, a filter because she finds it fun, but your
right. No.
is
But I'm like, "That's not your face." And then when they see you in real life, they're like, "Oh."
Wait a minute, my daughter looks very beautiful.
No, but I'm saying no, when I've seen people
No,
not
I
her,
know.
but
No.
because I've watched shows and people have been like, "Oh, she looked good from what I saw on Instagram, and then I saw her in real life," and it's like,
Looks
pause.
nothing like that.
And yeah, I mean, whatever. That's beside the point. But
Mhm, mhm.
the the point is that I feel very vulnerable when I'm doing a lot because again, it's I don't want to I don't want to sound come off like I'm sounding dumb. That's what's going on in my head. That's the
Yeah.
imposter syndrome. But at the same time, I know I'm very intelligent, so it's stupid for me to even think that that is how I can be perceived. And even if I am, who cares? Because again, your opinion of me is your opinion and you can have it.
Mhm.
That doesn't change how I feel about myself and what I know about myself. So stepping out of my comfort zone was very good for me to do. Yeah, even though this is our second life, I'm still uncomfortable, but I'm going through it
Right. Yeah, yeah.
because the whole thing about being brave is not that you are not fearful, is that you do it despite the fear.
Yeah, and that's important to know, and I agree, this is not our comfort zone because, we've talked about this a lot, where we've been conditioned to believe that we can't make mistakes, and that's, where it comes from. It's just this idea that you gotta be perfect all the time, and you gotta know everything about everything.
Right.
And
Otherwise, yeah, who are you to say something on this topic?
right, and it's no, and I'm glad that, for the both of us, because I share the same fear, and this was something we talked about when we were starting the podcast, like, "Oh, this is gonna be something."
That was hard
But
enough and that was pre-recorded.
yes, and thankfully that we continued with that, and we are here, and I feel like we have a purpose, and we are helping others, helping others see themselves in us. And so this is what happens when you step out of your comfort zone. You find people who are similar to you, who are dealing with the same things, and they love that community where it's like, okay, I'm not alone. I know
Yeah,
I'm
you find your community.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's good. I know I actually shared a win on one of the posts that we had on there, and it is important for us to celebrate
Mhm.
those small wins. I know we have
Yes.
like these big goals for ourselves, and I know for me when I look at my larger goals, I'm always thinking like I don't think I'm ever going to get there. this, this ain't
Listen, listen.
this ain't happening. It looks too far out. And I feel like I am not doing anything that's even close to reaching my goal. And this week really helped me to just really focus on the
Mhm.
small things, like on my smaller goals. And I shared on a previous post where one of my goals is to be more physically active. And I say
Right.
physically active because I don't like the word exercise, right? It is just it has a negative connotation for me. Other people
Mhm.
not, and that's okay. So
Right.
I say physical activity because of the type of work that I do. I am constantly sitting on the computer. So I'm not
Right.
moving. I'm not on my feet. I'm not in a profession where I'm constantly moving, but I work a lot. So that then impacts my
Eats up your
mobility.
time.
Right.
Mhm.
So thinking about, my larger goal, like, oh, I need to do X amount of time. They tell you you need to work out 30 to an hour, 30 minutes to an hour a day or 5 days.
Right.
I tried every which way to try to incorporate that in my day, and that is the
Mm.
most difficult thing for me to do because of my busy schedule and
Right.
being in that what they call being a sandwich caregiver, meaning I have
Mhm.
children that I'm still providing care to, and I have a parent who needs my care. So I'm in that generation where it's like I'm doing double duty. So when I think about, like, I don't really have a whole damn hour together, that I can work do a workout or go to a class that 'cause that's me. I get bored with doing the same thing over and over again, and so because of that, I stop, "Oh, I can't do this. I got other things that I need to do." So, for me, doing classes that I enjoy are more beneficial. However, I just don't have that time to get to these classes and take those hour-long classes. So my small win is, okay, you know what? I just need to break up my physical activity. I don't have to do anything special. I can go for a walk. I can get on the stepper. I can, get on a treadmill for a small chunk of time, 5, 10 minutes
Mhm.
throughout the day. And I put an alarm on for myself where I'm getting up and it reminds me like, "Hey, you need to get up and, walk or do whatever and get my steps in." And Imma tell you just doing that has definitely made me feel better because I feel like I'm doing something. I
Yes.
am reaching smaller goals like, "Oh, okay, I reached my goal steps for the day."
It's
Because
like checking off that to-do list. You feel
yes.
like all good. You're like, "Oh,
Yes, yeah,
yeah, I did that."
and then that then increases because in the midst of me taking the 5, 10 minutes in that moment actually helps me to understand that I do need to take time for myself. And that constant reminder, I think is just gonna build to bigger things for me in the long run. Because again, when your lifestyle is very busy with so many different things that really doesn't include self-care can be detrimental in the long run, and I've already shared my fear of ending up, you like ending up like mommy in her state now, and other people that we know, other family members that we know. I just don't wanna be there, but doing these little small steps in self-care for myself, yeah, it's a game has been a game changer for me.
I think that's great because it's a reminder of prioritizing one's care. And I don't think it's emphasized enough because it's as if, yes, you get that reminder, then you let life get in the way and you forget.
Mhm.
So it's very easy to be like, well, oh, I didn't do these steps. I don't have time. I'm working 8 hours and then I'm
Yeah,
caregiving for my kids. I'm
yeah,
caregiving for my mom.
yeah.
But then what you did by setting your alarm was saying, no, this is important. This is just as important as these other aspects of my life. And that doesn't start anywhere but with you because no one else is going to prioritize that for you because they're
Right.
going to look at it from their perspective, which is we, as human beings, we seek self-preservation. You got to prioritize yourself, and no one else is going to do that for you.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
no,
the bottom line.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, it was again, it helped with the shift in my mindset because again, there's always that doubting yourself like, "Oh, I can't do this," or "It'll never change for me because I just don't have that capacity or energy to do that." And so shifting it into, "No, but you can do 5, 10 minutes, right? So let's every little bit counts." You add that up, you end up doing about an hour of workout, 45 minutes to an hour workout if you're doing this throughout your day. And I
Mhm.
find myself sometimes like, oh, I'll get up and like, oh, let me do 5 minutes in my little stepper.
Good, good.
'Cause it's 5 minutes, right? It's just like I can spare 5 minutes. So I do it.
And
And
that is how habits are formed, right?
yeah.
This was this week, we're focused on the building of these habits as the first 2 weeks of the journaling was, building awareness. And then now we're at this point of like rebuilding habits and you uh, have provided a great way to do that. I will say, I think our most recent uh, journal prompt was on a quote, on like,
Mm,
what's your favorite quote or something like that.
okay, yeah.
And I don't have a favorite quote, but I have a favorite passage that I'd like to wrap up our week with
Yes.
if you're
Yeah,
done
yeah.
with. And it comes from the book that you actually gifted to me, which is "Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting" by Lynn Grabhorn. That's how I
One of
hear
my
her say it.
favorite.
That's how I hear the title every time. "Excuse me, your life is waiting." And facts.
Yeah, that was one of
And
my
it
favorite books. Yeah. Mhm.
and given again in light of everything that's happening, it's very hard to sit and be still and not be bombarded with the chaos that surrounds us. And part of that is intentional to disrupt your way of being, to disrupt your mental state, your emotional state, your spiritual state, to
Mhm.
rock your foundation. That is what they want. They want you to live in fear. They want you to believe what you do in life, what happens in your life is out of your control. But guess what? We're not ceding our power to anyone. We're keeping our power to ourselves because we are the ones that are powerful. So in this book, she she says, and it's not a quote, it's like several sentences, but the
Right,
best
right.
several sentences in your life.
Right.
We came here with a guaranteed freedom of choice mandated by the very nature of our existence. The time has come for us to exercise that birthright. We are caught in no one's web. We are bound by no circumstance. We are victims of no conditions. Rather, we are beings who possess the sacred ability to implement any outlandish desire our limitless minds can concoct, for we possess unregulated, unrestricted, uncontested freedom of choice, no matter what those choices may be.
I love that.
Own it.
I love it.
Okay, like what the kids be doing now.
Right.
Clack, 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 clack. All of that. Yeah.
Oh
I
my.
now have to remind myself to read that every morning when I wake up.
No,
The
that's
choice is yours.
what page is that on? So I, because I need.
Yeah, I grabbed it from my Kindle, and because my Kindle's on my phone right now, I guess
Oh,
I'll
okay,
send it
okay,
to you.
gotcha.
But yes,
Yeah.
I that is I
No,
remember
that.
I used to have it printed out in my wallet, and, like, who carries a wallet now anymore? But now I'm just going to have it in my notes, and I'm going to wake up every morning and read that,
Yeah.
because the choice is yours. We are unlimited beings.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, and that's it. That's it.
That's how we're closing out.
I love it. I love it. So we're getting into the last week, sustaining change. So kudos to everyone who's been on this journey. I hope you've gotten something out of it. Um, but let's end this strong. And listen, it's still not too late for people to join the challenge. I mean, you can continue it started at any time. This is something that is ongoing and can be used in different ways. So, um, great job to everyone. And we're going into week 4, where we're looking at empowerment, purpose, and continued growth.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.